Good morning. You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a podcast brought to you by Joy's House. We are so happy that you're here. Caregiver Crossing is a podcast created just for you, the caregiver. So I'm Tina McIntosh.
I'm Terry Stacy. Hello. And just so you know, we're here weekly with experts across the country to provide comfort and resources and joy to our caregivers. And this podcast serves to embrace family caregivers of today and I know caregivers of tomorrow. And we're appreciating that you're here with us today. So let's get right into it, Tina.
All right. So we brought back Dr. Louis Profeta. I'm so happy that he agreed to come back on Caregiver Crossing. He is a 27-year veteran ER physician. He is a national award-winning writer, public speaker. He is on LinkedIn. He's one of their top voices. He's fantastic. And the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Patient in Room 9, says he's God. So good morning to you, Dr. Profeta.
Morning.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
So happy to have you here. You continue to tolerate Terry and me during this podcasting, which is great. Last time we had you on, it's been a little bit of time, but we talked about COVID, of course, because who doesn't talk about COVID? It runs all of our brains right now. But I have questions. I jokingly, and I probably should be careful what I put out into the universe, but I jokingly say to people, I don't know if this time is the common cold or if it's the zombie apocalypse. And then here I start seeing all of these. Do you do TikTok at all, Dr. Profeta?
No.
Well, I'm not proud to tell you I do. I have kids, and so I keep up with my kids and their friends on TikTok a lot. And there have been some TikToks that are trying to be funny that say, I just got the COVID-19 vaccination, and then they turn into a zombie. And so my head goes to these crazy places. Where do you go when you hear about vaccines that we're pushing through that normally take 10 years time, but we're getting them out in these, 12, 18-month period? How do you feel about an upcoming vaccine? Is that a fair question for you?
I'm okay with it. We're not talking about older times where we gave people live or attenuated virus. We're giving typically the vaccines tend to be a protein, an antigen that is injected into it to create an immune response. So I'm fine with it. I mean, we get sort of inoculated with novel antigens all the time on a daily basis. So I'm okay with it. Now the question is, does it have any efficacy? That's what we don't really know. So, are there going to be side effects? Or maybe I'll be first in line to get a vaccine. I'm comfortable with getting it. So I have no issue with it at all right now.
Honestly, that's really all I need to hear. If you're comfortable getting it, I'm comfortable getting it. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to put pressure on you, but I put my life also in your hands because I trust you. And I don't trust everybody. Actually, I wrote a poem about it recently. I don't trust anybody. So you're on a very short list, my friend. Terry, does the idea freak you out at all? I mean,
it does. And just because I'm so used to knowing that it takes years and years and years for vaccines to come into our homes, for us to be able to get vaccinated. So it worries me a little bit. So doctor, and again, I know this is Caregiver Crossing, but I just want to ask this. Should it take as long as it's taken for other vaccines to come to market?
Yeah, it actually should. Okay, different vaccine or different viruses respond in different ways. I mean, if you look at HIV, we don't have a vaccine for HIV yet because there's a lot of it deals with retroviruses behave a little bit different than a flu virus, than a virus that may have a spike protein, or a virus that surface proteins, or maybe the some of the problem, proteins. So everything has sort of a different response. That's why we have flu vaccines every year, because the flu virus rearranges its coat proteins on a yearly basis, and then the immunity can wane. We do seem to know which protein is involved in the infectivity of COVID-19. I believe it's the spike protein. And so you have to isolate some of these proteins and figure out which is the one that will cause you to mount an immune response. And that's why so many of these vaccines are difficult. And I think we have a pretty good idea about how COVID-19 works, how it infects people. So yeah, some vaccines are going to take much longer and some will never be fixed. But other viruses, we can develop vaccines too. It's each virus is independent. It acts differently. So we have to, sometimes the science isn't as complete with certain viruses. This one, I think we're on the right track.
Well, and if I heard correctly, I think this is the quickest vaccine that we will have since the mumps or ever. I mean, this is a quick one. So if I'm a caregiver for an aging loved one or a loved one living with some kind of a life-altering diagnosis, where do I take my concern about giving them a vaccine? Like, it's hard to know what's best for people.
Well, right now we don't know. We have to let some of the data come out. But, as I said, I'm fine with getting it, at least trying it and see if it mounts an immune response. That is a bigger concern to me than any side effect from the vaccine. It may just not work. I mean, it may just not create an antibody response that allows adequate protection. We just don't know, don't know right now. But some of the sort of in vivo trials, especially in animals and in humans, does seem to indicate that it is generating an antibody response, and that's what we want. So, I think that's where you look first. There's some spotty case reports of some side effects related to the vaccine, but those occur with any vaccine. Anytime you inject any medication in somebody, you're going to have some complications. So I'd be comfortable with testing it. And I think a lot of my fellow physicians would be too. So
interesting. So, what I'm hearing is if I'm a caregiver, I talk to my family physician. I mean, I go to my family physician to make sure that we're doing the right mix of vaccinations or the right things for my loved one. And I would say to caregivers, if you don't have confidence in your physician, you probably need to find a new physician.
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, when Dr. Profeta, when you tell me, hey, this is what I'm going to do, I listen differently and say, okay, I think that's probably what I'll do too. So, talk to your physician. And again, if there are great physicians in this town, if you're not comfortable with one you have or don't trust what you're getting, you're always invited to have a second opinion. I mean, that's a thing for a reason, right?
Yes.
So, all right. Anything else, Terry, before we let Dr. Profeta go?
Well, we have just a couple minutes here.
We do. Yep.
Okay. Dr. Profeta, I just want to find out, this is a time I know caregivers are asking, because if they're that sandwich generation, they've got kids that are now back in a brick and mortar building, and perhaps they're caring for mom or dad or a grandparent in their home. And I know some are asking, is this the right time? Maybe I should get my parent into more of an assisted living community, because now my kids are going in and out of the home. We're going back to work. Is this would you feel confident in putting your mom or dad into a retirement or an assisted living community right now?
Depends where. It depends, it depends on what the track record is of that assisted living community in terms of COVID-19. I mean, if you're doing an adequate job, your parents still can tough it out at home, and you can arrange, to be there and help with some of those basic needs. I think the longer you keep your parents at home in that kind of environment, the better you are off. Because I think you're going to have a lot higher chance of picking it up in more of a, an environment like an ECF or something like that. Now, with the kids, going back to brick and mortar kind of stuff, bringing it back to you, I mean, the data's all over the place. Kids transmit it. Yeah, they can. One of the things I wouldn't be doing is bringing my kids back from college anytime soon. College is sort of
I have a college freshman. You're killing me here. Go on.
I mean, you asked my opinion, okay?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And what I mean by that is that almost all these kids are getting exposed to COVID-19. And this notion that you're going to have a kid get COVID-19 in college and then immediately send them back home to his parents it just seems idiotic to me. Okay, the young people are not going to get sick from this, so keep them down there. Let them sort of develop an immune response to it. and stay in that kind of environment where they're less likely to transmit it to older individuals. And then wait till Christmas break and bring them back then. But I would to be honest, I'd forego Thanksgiving with them this year.
Wow,
Let them stay down in college.
Okay.
Interesting. All right, Terry, I think you had another question.
Well, I know we should end on a positive note. so, Dr. Profeta, we need your encouragement and your words of wisdom right now on a positive note before we say goodbye.
Only if it's true, though.
We're going to get through this, okay?
Yeah.
We're going to create herd immunity. We're going to come out smarter on the back end, hopefully, and hopefully this will sort of set the groundwork for how we approach pandemics in the future. But we need to just continue to be supportive of each other, quit being critical of every little aspect. There's a lot of good in this country. This is a worldwide problem. It's just not an American problem. Mother Nature doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat or independent. Okay, she has her own agenda, and we have to recognize that, and we have to come together as people and figure out the best way to attack some of these problems instead of being so divisive in our community.
Amen. I'm on the same page. If we can pull out a little more kindness, we will be better on the other side of this. I have no doubt. So, Dr. Profeta, you are fantastic. If you have not been to LinkedIn to read his articles, please do it. But you've got to you brace yourself, because he's going to tell you exactly how it is, which is one of the things I just absolutely love about you. So, Dr. Profeta, you stay well, and I can't wait to see what happens when you get that vaccine.
Awesome.
So, all right. Well, we will be back next week with another podcast here on Caregiver Crossing. Until next time, take good care of each other. Dr. Profeta, we'll see you soon.
Bye.